So, all right. So you got all this going on, referring out all this business. I'm assuming that at some point you just were connecting the dots of, well, why am I referring this business out instead of having my own agents working for me and, right, where I could keep more of the dollar, have more control and, not chasing down referrals, and sometimes it's tough to get paid on all of those. And, so, I mean, is that how the team evolved?
Well, I basically had the team concept because I had somebody on the other side of the lake that I referred all of the leads over to. So I didn't have to do a referral paperwork every single time. And I don't know, I probably referred out a bunch that I never got paid for because I wasn't good at the follow-up. So like not having the team hurt me in that aspect. And I do a lot of luxury stuff. So a teardown on Lake Winnipesaukee is about $1 million. My highest sales, 7 million. And so there's some of that stuff. So when you're focusing on the luxury stuff, it's more time and effort. So you don't have a lot of time for the buyers that are chasing around and doing some of the residential stuff. So it was more out of just needing the time and having the efficiency of strategic agents kind of around the lake and in different areas. So I really, like I did, my average price point when I was just doing it on my own was about $1 million. And I do, as probably 2009, 10, 11, somewhere in there, it was be 20 sales, $20 million, which, I mean, that's a good living, especially for New Hampshire, or a small little state. But the cash flow is just awful. You'd get a big check and then I wouldn't get a check for 2 months, and then a giant check and then I wouldn't get a check for a month. And so from a cash flow standpoint, it wasn't, my wife would rather me make half the money I was and get a steady paycheck, just the way her personality is. So it caused stress in that way too. So in about 10 years into it, Keller Williams was after me, and the owner of the market center was after me. Basically, he would take me out to lunch. Like, Keller Williams is a big recruiting company, and really everything's kind of white noise when you're in real estate. Everybody recruits everybody. Everybody's got the best technology. Everybody's got the best network. After a while, it's all just the white noise in the background. So this guy was after me, taking me out to lunch. I wouldn't let him pay for a lunch because I didn't want him to feel like he's getting anywhere with me. And then he caught me at a weak moment, February, I think. It was in the winter of 2013. And he said, I want to fly you to Texas. I want you to go to our franchise systems orientation, which is basically their owner's training. And he said, I want you to go through that. And I said, Nate, I'm not going to make a move to your company. I was number 9 in the state at the time. I liked the people I was working with. I really didn't, and this is answering your question, I really didn't know about the team aspect to it because I just wasn't introduced to it yet. But I kind of had the team that I didn't know in place with the agents around. And so I said, Nate, I'll go to Texas. I'll take your training. I got a good buddy that moved to Texas that I haven't seen for a while. So if I can go see him, if I can take your training, and if you understand that I'm not making a move to Keller Williams, I'll fly down there with you. He said, all right, under those conditions, I'll still want you to come. So I flew down there, and the joke and actually I listed a condo on that Friday thinking that when I came back, it was going to be business as usual. I really had no idea I was going to make a move, but I mean, to his credit, he knows that 85% of the people that go to that meeting actually make a switch. So it wasn't a huge gamble on his part. But the joke is, day one, I said, so if I made a move, and day two, I was saying, when I make a move to Keller Williams, because they kind of laid it all out, and I just saw that team aspect to it, just saying, oh, that's what I want. Because I'd rather make money through people than just making a whole bunch of money on my own. I've got 3 kids. I mean, the joke on vacation was to get the picture of me by the pool with the phone in my hand, or me on the beach with the phone in my hand, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's one of those things, and you can earn a lot of money in real estate, but it's so easy to pigeonhole yourself into having a high-paying job, right? Until you grow a team or go the brokerage model, wherever we can start leveraging some of this stuff out. So this was the owner franchise training. Like, did you become a franchisee, or did you just join Keller Williams and start building your team as an agent? Like, which route did you end up going?
So I just joined it as an agent, but I had tried to help my previous boss in growing his company, like helping develop the website, because I had that background, and just doing. And I like to help the other agents, so I do training on what little I knew, and helping them get up and running, the newer agents and things like that. So I knew the stresses and the pressure points of being an owner and knowing how hard it is to run a real estate company. And this was 2013. So that wasn't a great year in real estate. And it was funny because I'm sitting in this room full of owners. I'm like, why is everybody happy? Aren't you guys losing money? What's going on here? They all had the nice watches on. They were all arguing who's going to pay for the dinner. And it just was like a different atmosphere. So I said, there's got to be something that's working here. So I came back and my determination was to start a team and go that route.
Yeah. Well, and Keller Williams has really revolutionized the team model. Before KW came on, you heard of teams, right? Yeah. But nothing like
usually two agents teaming up.
Yeah. It was nothing. And now with what Keller Williams is what Gary Keller, the foresight that he has, now you're seeing, 50. I had like Bob Lucido on the show not too long ago, who's a good friend of mine, and doing $17 million a year in commissions, and 55 agents, and now with all the expansions, and they've got such a great training program. But what I always commend Gary Keller for the most is to retrain agents to think of what is possible. It doesn't need to be done the traditional way of real estate. Right. It's like, man, you can really take this big and even leverage the brokerage without having to become a broker owner and taking on that risk and have those lower profit margins and things like that.